I was just reflecting on my day, past couple of days, but especially today. You know, that walking the spiritual journey and returning to our natural selves, who we truly are, not these characters not these masks that we've been wearing, is definitely a journey not for the weak minded. And it was just, as much as I would love others to be more self aware of their thoughts, of their behaviors, their tone, just self aware. But I think it was just a harsh reality that certain people choose not to take any accountability for their lives, their situation, or the relationships. And I think sometimes when you're on this journey, or at least for me, on this spiritual journey, returning to my natural born self, which is spirit, and not this facade, that there's a lot of opposition, and especially from those that you grew up with, those that you have known your entire life. And a lot of times I've noticed that they will put doubt or fears and question you in ways like, where's the support? And, you know, but they said, I am supporting you. I'm just being realistic. But it's like most of these people don't have a clue what it's like to truly walk this spiritual journey in faith. Because you'll be asked to leave that job, to leave that relationship, that romantic partner. And maybe there's something wrong with the relationship, your partner. And sometimes there's nothing wrong with that person. It's a good person, but it's not necessarily for you. Maybe it's more settling, right? More settling than excitement. Maybe you're asked to cut off friendships. Maybe you're asked to just cut off everyone because it's like you need to purge, you need to strip away, you need to prune. Pruning is necessary. And I've posed this question to someone else months ago. It's like, you say that you have faith, and even the encounter today with somebody different, you say that you have faith. But if you had faith and you have walked out on faith the way that I have, even through the fears and the unknown, then you would not be questioning me. If you've been on this journey this far, this deep, then you wouldn't even question me and the decisions or choices or where my life is right now, because you would already know, have an inkling, like it's not going to look like the world. It's not going to look worldly. It's going to look odd. It's going to seem odd. It's going to seem out of place. It's going to seem a little crazy, a little chaotic, whatever. But if you've been on the journey, then you will already know that you're going to be asked to do things, to let go of things that that you don't want to necessarily, or you think twice, am I hearing correctly? Because I knew I had to give up my home, the condo. I knew I had to let go of the transportation. I knew I had to let go of everything that was in my home. All the clothes, all the shoes, all the jewels, all of it. All of it. And people are like, I don't think that God would tell you to do that. Well, obviously, they've never been on this type of journey. And it's just kind of like, I've heard that that saying, many are called, but few are chosen. Few are chosen because people are hanging up the call. People are blocking the call. People are ignoring the call because it will ask so much of you to release so much. Not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, mindsets. Things that you've been harboring in your heart. Some harsh truths about yourself and others. About patterns. Like there's a lot that goes with this. So saying a person saying that they have faith. Yeah, you have faith as long as you're in your comfort zone. You might get out of, you may get out of your comfort zone a little bit, but a lot of times what I've noticed with people around me who choose to block the call, who choose to ignore their calling, is that they're forced into uncomfortable situations where they have to grow, and then they start to tap into the ancestors, God, creator, source of everything, right? Because they're in a place they've never been before. But I have been in this, not this particular place, but I've had to walk out. I have walked in faith so many times. I've had to get out my comfort zone so many times. I've had to be courageous in spite of the fears. I've had to do a lot that most people would not do because they don't want to get out their comfort zone. And I just feel like that, those who have not truly walked truly in faith deeply and has connected with source on a level that that you got many signs, many messages, many visions, confirmations that, yeah, I'm supposed to leave that job. Yes, I'm supposed to start this business. Yes, I'm supposed to leave that partner. Yes, I'm supposed to cut off these family members. Yes, these friends, this group, this association, this organization is not for me. I gotta let it go. And sometimes there's no red flags of some of these things, but you're still being asked to let go of things, people, places. But it's for a purpose. You may not understand it or see it now, but it's for a purpose. But my whole point is that it's so easy for people to sit on the sidelines and criticize and judge someone else when they haven't even done half of the things that have been asked of you, of me. I know that. I know that most people couldn't even sit in my shoes, let alone walk in them. That I know. They couldn't even sit in them. Why? Because these people can't even sit still and be quiet, even for 15 minutes in silence, barely, without being distracted. They sit too long, by their standards, long. Then they feel like they're being lazy and not doing anything. I'm like, how are you supposed to truly tap in to hear, to connect with Source, God, the creator of everything? If you can't be still long enough to actually hear or see or communicate, to allow the spirit realm to communicate with you. What is very annoying, well, how do you know? How do you know who you're talking to? Who's speaking to you is God or the Holy Spirit? Because I know. When you know, you know. You have your own relationship. That's just like asking a parent, how do you know the voice of your children, of your child, versus, your nieces and nephews? Or how do you know the voices of your siblings? Like, you just know. Why? Because you've grown up with them. You know what they sound like. But to me, it just lets me know. It just confirms to me that these people have not truly lived out of their comfort zone. And it reminds me of those people who are constantly judging, criticizing, talking, gossiping about someone. And I think about like the games, like the sports, like football, professional stuff, basketball games, and how people, whether you're at the game or in the living room watching, I've heard this, other people saying, oh, if it was me, or they should have done this, critiquing, bad mouthing, whatever, judging the players. And I'm thinking, you have no idea. Most don't have any idea what it takes to even be out there on the floor, on the field, to score. But you have all these people sitting on the sidelines as though they can get out there and do it. Like, oh yeah, I can do that. I can criticize them. I can judge them. But yet, they don't even have the skills, the ability, the strength to go out and do what those players are doing,